Okay, so as you know, I've got 10 questions for you, Al. So the first one is, what are your thoughts about Wānaka Airport?
Quickly, the lease being deemed illegal was the best thing that could have happened, so we kept it on home turf. Looking forward, the tenants that are already there should be given a minimum 20-year lease, according to me, and the thing absolutely ring-fenced and bounded, so it cannot be expanded and manipulated and used. I do have one question though. If the lease was deemed illegal, why are there no criminals?
Interesting question. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next thing. What were the key learnings from the High Court ruling, do you think?
I don't think I know that the learning for the council was to go away and sulk and try to work their way around it. The learning from the people was we can overcome these people in high places and push them back.
Okay. Have you read the judgment?
Not all of it, I must admit. To be fair, I was quite happy to just sort of rest on our laurels. I was a member of Protect Wānaka from the outset, and as you know, I travelled over many times to support through the council chambers and watched the stonewalling we got, so however, there you go.
How do you generally inform yourself about airport issues?
Primarily, I watched the emails off Protect Wānaka when I was going flat out, various other things, often because I have sort of low friends in high places, I tend to get a bit of inside info fed to me about what's going on and who's having meetings with who and what I consider as outside the bounds of normal council business, you might say. So yeah, it's more word of mouth more than anything. And the other going along with that is there's very little written word you can believe from the council or our present government. So there you
go. Did you read the Martin Jenkins report?
Yes, I did actually, but it was a while ago. God, what was that? 18 months ago.
Yeah, about then. So who do you think should determine the future evolution of Wānaka Airport?
Oh, without a doubt. You need to have your own dedicated community board to oversee that and a few other things. You can't have a board that Teelan sets the agenda, which was the case last time I was over there. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And for the board to accept that sort of dictatorship, I just was stunned standing on stage that night. So yeah, no, there needs to be a powerful and smart board that knows they can push these people back into their place and control the damn thing as the community wants it.
What do you know, if anything, about the Wānaka Airport Liaison Committee?
Not a thing. Okay. I've never had. It could be a good thing, but I've never had. Liaison is a very soft word, and it sort of tends to me to mean pussyfooting around and getting led by the nose. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know anything about it, to be fair.
So our next question will help you a bit. There's provision made in for the Wānaka Airport Liaison Committee in the QLDC district plan, but it's never been established. So if elected, will you promote and support the establishment of the Wānaka Airport Liaison Committee?
I mean, I hark back to what I said before. You need a proper community board that has immense power over how the airport is controlled going forward into the future. Because basically the pioneers of that airport have left it in this condition for you guys, and it's up to you guys to leave it in good condition for the kids and grandkids. So I don't really have much faith. But however, if the community wants a liaison board and is absolutely behind it 100% or whatever, then I have to go with it.
Okay. When you're thinking about the airport, what do you see as the key issues or considerations that drive the airport's future?
I don't see commercial flights as a good thing into there. And I, just as a quick aside, I'm not a fan of the Terrace Airport either. You know, I think that is just a vehicle to punch mass tourism into Wānaka. You'll be overwhelmed. The other thing with that is we're going to be paying for the infrastructure that gets wrecked, you know, and Christchurch Airport will walk away from it. However, that's an aside. The Wānaka Airport, I just think it's fantastic. You know, I don't know why our Aero Club didn't go over there, you know, when we got booted out of this one here. And you're so lucky that you haven't allowed, you know, Auckland Airport or Queenstown CEOs to get too involved in it, and really need to lock that into concrete. Yep.
One of the questions further down the list is what's your position on Terrace Airport? I think you've answered that, so I'm not going to ask that one. What's your stance on carbon emissions, and what do you reckon QLDC should be doing?
Oh, I don't know if there's a hell of a lot we can, you know. I think we're grown-ups, you know. We should be able to decide. I was in Arrowtown the other day, and there was somebody going on about, you know, somebody was burning wood and whatnot, and there's 1 million people a year dying, and you know, in Arrowtown from carbon down their throats and whatnot. The thing is, we've got to be realistic about it as well. You can either freeze in the dark now, or, you know, or put a bit of wood on coal and live now, and you might have a cough in 10 years. So carbon footprints is massively important, you know. And personally, I've planted probably 3,000 trees around here, you know, but that was for river retention and what have you, you know, more than carbon footprint. I take a lot of it with a pinch of salt, I must admit. You know, I do see that our climate is changing. I know in the scheme of things, New Zealand is an amateur. It doesn't even rate on the carbon wrecking ball list, you know, when it comes to the other guys. One chimney in China or America puts out more than the entire New Zealand. So we need to just stop getting punched up and felt so damn guilty about everything. There you go.
Thank you. You're very clear in your answers, which is good. What do you see the role of the Wānaka Community Board as being, and where should it fit sort of within council?
Well, I mean, you're going back to liaison, you know, it's pretty well seems to me it's more of a liaison board, or it has been, or a monkey on a string. You know, that might be a wee bit offensive, but that was just my opinion when I was over there. So that I know Lyle Cox, and he can be adamant and bulldogish, you know. So I really think Wānaka could do with a few more like him in there, you know. Just we need to put the foot down on this stuff, you know, not just pansy around and you know. Personally, my woke is broke, you know. I won't have it. So we got to go, you know. This is just nonsense, and stop doing it, you know, stop lying to us. The first thing we need to do, of course, is to get free information coming out of QLDC, you know. That is the biggest thing.
Cool, very clear once again. Right, so you've got a bonus question at the end that I didn't tell you about. It's your opportunity to address the people of Wānaka. This will be seen by all of our members. The floor is yours.
Oh, what do I think we should? First of all, stop Three Waters. I absolutely do not agree with that for many reasons. I'm not going to give you all the reasons. The primary one for me is I've been paying rates here for over 40 years, over a lot of money invested in that infrastructure, and I'm not happy with somebody else just taking it over and telling me what to do with it. I consider it belongs to the ratepayers, although I consider the Lakeview site to belong to the ratepayers as well, and there you go. So yeah, that is the first thing. The second thing is to rebuild trust. I was at the one in Arrowtown, and I asked the whole hall, they put their hands up if they trusted the council. One guy in the front put his hand up, and then I said to him, I will talk to you later. And Glenn Lewis almost put his hand up just a little bit like that. Ferg was at the back, didn't move, you know, so not a very good indictment. So, you know, regardless of the whole, you know, of that example, there is no trust in my community or the people I know in this council, you know, and deservedly so. You know, we've been absolutely fooled and had the wool pulled all the way down the line. I could not believe at the last election, you know, because I believe primarily it was Bolt, Teelan and McLeod that drove the lease of the airport. And I could not believe when they, you know, that they got re-elected, particularly in McLeod over there. So there you go. That's what I'm standing for, you know, a lot of honesty and hold on to our stuff.
Perfect. Well, you've been very clear. I'm just going to stop the recording, Al.